Hey guys, this is Tarot with Kittens, Weights, and Tarot, and yes, I know this is a different format. I'm actually recording on my computer today because for this particular video I need my cell phone to show you guys some things. This video is a little bit different. I just felt like I had to share it, that I think with this community it's good to, share human emotions and kind of get them out, just, in case anybody else is going through the same stuff we are. It just feels good knowing that, there are other people that, go through some of the same things. So this video is a little bit more, I don't know, kind of sad. Well, I'll just go back to yesterday. So yesterday was kind of odd. Yesterday was Monday, June 25th, 2018. And I kept feeling like one of the coaches I work with, his name's Carter, he's a real cool guy. He's the distance coach, and he's the cross-country coach, but he's also the distance coach during track and field season. He's been doing it a long time, and he, he's such like a good coach. He had a military background. He's not in the military anymore, but he was just so dedicated to the kids, and it was like such a well-oiled machine. And I wanted to help him out in cross country this year. So right now the kids would be in their preseason, and he told me, he's like, okay, I'm gonna be calling you probably like end of June, early July. And the last we spoke was during finals week, so after the track banquet. It was kind of like a hey, and he was trying to figure out how to get a stipend for me, because cross country doesn't have really that many stipends at all, because it's a smaller program. So he was figuring out how to get me a stipend so that I could be like his photographer, and do the photography for his athletes, like at practice and through the season. He thought it would be really cool for the end of the year video. And I was really excited about doing that. And last we really got to speak, and actually we had a really, really good conversation at the track banquet, which was at the end of May. And I found out that he has this souped up Charger, Dodge Charger. And I told him about, my boyfriend has a Hellcat, and and so his eyes lit up, and I heard him speak with a passion I hadn't heard him speak before. And we were talking about cars, we were talking about all this stuff, and everybody was like, are you guys in your own little world? We're like, yes. And so it was really cool, because normally he doesn't talk a lot. He's kind of a quiet guy. When he coaches his athletes, he only talks when he has really something to say. When he needs to motivate them, or he needs to discipline them in a way, or push them. And he wasn't one to just dole out compliments willy-nilly. If a kid really earned it, then he would compliment them. And he was strict, but he was fair, and he was good. And so that was the last I spoke with him. And so I was kind of feeling on Monday I was going to be getting a call from him. So when I saw, San Diego area code pop up, I thought that was him calling me, and I thought he was using a different number. I was like, oh, did he finally get an iPhone, and trade in his flip phone? Because he was so old school with everything. And he wasn't old at all. He was probably late 40s. I think maybe he was 50. And so I answered the phone, but it was LA Opera, because I had gone to see Rigoletto, and they were wondering if I wanted season tickets for next year. So I was like, man, but I kept feeling like Carter was going to be calling me, and I had been thinking about him the day before. And the day before, for some reason, I was obsessed with watching these YouTube videos. So this was Sunday evening, with people, paranormal stuff, Huff Paranormal, where they're contacting people on the other side. I was watching a video. The last video I watched was from a different YouTube channel, and it was about reincarnation and kids that could remember their past lives. It was 5, stories of children that remember their past lives. And one that I thought was particularly sad was a child that remembered past life of being in a car accident or a motorcycle accident. And so, and in reality, there was a motorcycle accident where the mother and father died at the same time, leaving their children behind. And I was like, oh man, that's like so sad. You know, and that kind of like stuck with me. But then on Monday, you know, I was like kind of like thinking about Carter, and I was like, oh, you know, like how fun that's gonna be, like maybe doing cross country and things like that. I got a text message from, well, I'll probably insert it, a text message from our head track and field coach that he and his wife just had their baby boy, Henry, and he was born on Wednesday, June 20th. And so all the coaches were like, oh, hey, congratulations. And I was like, future track runner, you know. And so that was probably around noon. After I got the text message from the coach, I went to the gym to go work out. And while I was waiting at the light before I got into the gym, I see this crow coming in, but it's like gliding really slow, and I swear it was gonna, like my window was open. I thought the crow was gonna land in my truck. I was like, whoa, 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 what? You know, and this crow just comes like gliding in. It was a huge crow. It lands on the road next to my truck, next to my open window, and it's staring at me. And I was like, I really took notice because that's really weird. And I was like, hello, Mr. Crow. And I work with like animal energy, so I was like, wonder what the crow's message is. And the first thing I thought was, you know, harbinger of death. And I was like, okay, well, you know, crows are not always messengers of death. You know, I was like, because I don't know anybody that died. So I was like, I don't know what your business is, Mr. Crow. I was like, move along. I went and like ate some roadkill and like hopped away. And I was like, okay, that was strange. So then later I'm making a YouTube video, which I'll post on Thursday, this coming Thursday. And it was just a deck review of the Saki Saki Tarot. And I've tried to start doing like a little mini sample reading at the end. So I'm doing the sample reading, and you guys will see it when you watch the video on Thursday. I pull 3 cards, because that's how I do my sample reading. It was the 5 of Swords, the 10 of Swords, and the 9 of Coins. And so I'm trying to give kind of a positive reading, and in my mind I keep thinking somebody has died, but then there's also birth. You know, and I think I mentioned that in my video that, you know, with anything that ends, there's always a beginning. With anybody that passes away, there's always a birth. And I was like, that's interesting. And then in the middle of making my video, that head coach that sent a picture of his new baby boy earlier called, but I clicked decline because I wanted to finish making my video. And so I finished making my video, and he texts me, he says, call me back ASAP. And all of a sudden I had this feeling in the pit of my stomach that somebody has died. And I was like, oh no. And the first thing that comes to mind is one of our other coaches, because she's kind of in poor health. And I was like, oh no, I hope nothing's happened to her. Or, you know, a couple of our younger coaches, you know, that, you know, sometimes a little bit reckless. And I'm like, oh, I hope nothing has happened to any of them. So I call him, he doesn't answer, he calls me right back, and he informs me that Carter has passed away in a motorcycle accident on Sunday. I'm still in shock because it doesn't seem real, because and it still hurts a lot because he's my friend. As track and field coaches, like as track and field coaches, we're like family. Like, we're really like tight-knit and close together. And I always think of myself as like the I don't know, kind of goofy cousin. The head coach is like that weird dorky uncle. Like our pole vault coach, who's a lot older than the rest of us, is like the really interesting grandfather, like kind of weird. Well, I guess we're all kind of weird. The sprints coach, who won't be with us next year because she has to move back to Texas, you know, because of the military. She was like everybody's mom. Our throws coach, he's pretty young. He's like 20, I think. He's like their older brother, the assistant distance coach, who was coached by our distance coach Carter, and then came back, you know, and she's still finishing up college. Or she just finished, you know, it was like the big sister of the group. Carter was like everybody's dad, you know, the strict authoritarian, but, you know, but a good guy, you know, kind of has some soft spots. And, yeah, so, and, you know, and our long and triple jump coach is also, he's like the cool uncle, you know. And so, yeah, we all had we're all really close, you know, and so, and we really rely on each other during the track season, because all those kids, all 155 of them during the track season are like our children, you know, and we're their family. And Carter, during cross-country season, has about 60 to 80 kids. It's like a lot of kids. And he's very dedicated to them. And those same kids do distance and track and field during the track season. And so it doesn't feel real to me that my friend is gone, because he was fit, you know, he would still go run. I expect to see him running with the kids on the sidewalk by the high school when I drive past in the summertime, you know, because he always runs with them in the morning. And he should have been running with them yesterday on Monday. I didn't know making this video would actually be really hard to make, because I just learned about this yesterday, and I had a really long cry, a really ugly cry, a really loud cry, for probably about an hour, and I thought I got it all out of my system, but I'm still a little broken. So I just really wanted to hear from him, but while I'm like wailing and crying and upset, because I'm like, there is no other coach for those kids. Like, they love him, and he's dedicated to them, and I can't see another coach like filling his shoes, you know. And Megan, who's so young, she's like 21, you know. Like, what's she gonna do without him? Sorry. So I was angry. I was shocked. I still am. I still can't believe it. I'm still like kind of angry. I have these really like mixed emotions. Like, it's like I think I'm fine, and then obviously I'm making this video and I'm not fine. And so now we're just kind of waiting on like when's the service. The athletic director put out a mass email yesterday to all the coaches at the high school I work at, you know, and hopefully those coaches will let the other coaches in our district know, you know, because they all kind of work together, letting them know about the passing of our distance coach. And that since it's summer school right now, that they have counseling services available for the students if they need to talk about how they're feeling. And so I went in front of my altar, and I was crying, and I was like, why? Like, why would you leave the kids now? Like, they need you. You were young. Like, you're fit. You're a good guy. And I don't know why. Like, you know, I was trying to connect, because you know that I can see, and I know when spirit's around, but because I was so upset, I couldn't. I was blocked, obviously. So I decided to take out my phone, and I have like it's like a ghost app, and I don't know why, it just seemed, I mean, it's worked before, but I was just like, I wanted to hear from him. Like, I was like, I need to hear from you, and because my sensitivity is blocked right now, like, I don't know where you are, and I can't feel you. So I just kind of want to show you. Okay, so I used an app called the M2 app, oops, over here, and you turn it on. Looks like that. And I like it best for the EVP, which is here. And so, oops, when you click on it, you can click this, and it has like a word bank, and like in theory, Spirit's supposed to be able to manipulate it and put out words. And I've had it be really relevant. Sometimes I've just had it be like some like word soup and it really didn't mean anything. But yesterday it meant something. So it stores all the EVPs up here. So I'm going to show you yesterday's session. So there was 9 EVPs when I was like kind of losing my shit and crying on June 25th. So I'm going to click on that. Okay, and so it shows you like at what time these words showed up. Okay, so the first word you see on there is crow. Like that was the first thing that popped up, and right away it like hit me. That crow that I saw earlier that day that came gliding in, that I thought was going to glide into my truck, I was like, holy shit, that was Carter. Like coming like to say goodbye, maybe. And of course I started crying some more, and I was just like over and over yelling, like, why did you have to go? Why? Like, why? Like, why would you leave all those kids, you know? And the next word that popped up was go. And I was like, I don't want you to go, you know? And so then a minute later, next word that came up was cross. And I took that as that he had crossed over. And I was like, but why? Why? I was like, you know, you have so much, like there's so many people that depend on you and like need you and they love you, and you're my buddy. Like you're my friend. And then there was, I don't know, a random name that popped up, Conrad, and I was like, I thought that was just like another ghost coming. I was like, I don't want to talk to Conrad. I want to talk to Carter, like my friend. And I was going on, and I was like, why does everybody have to die in the month of June? I was like, you know, my grandmother died in this month. Our old cat Presley died in this month. My Aunt Caroline that died a couple years ago, like, died in this month. Like, you know, and now you've died in this month. Like, a lot of people I know are born in the month of June, but a lot of people I know that I care about and love, like, die in my birth month. And so I was, like, pissed off. And so then the next word that came up was June. And I was like, right, June. I was like, why the F did you decide to leave in June? Like, maybe don't decide to leave at all, you know? And so I was just, and the next thing I saw was envy. And I still don't really understand what that means. Like, do you envy me? Are you saying I envy you? Like, what? I don't. Maybe because I'm still not in the right frame of mind. The next word was help. And at first I was like, oh, like, do you need help? Like, do you want me to help you? And then immediately after that, the word was reward. So then I knew. And just intuitively, I knew what he was saying. He wants me to go help Megan with the distance runners, and that it's very rewarding. And then I cried and cried and cried, and then for a good 3 minutes passed, and there was like nothing. It was just, you know, and sometimes there will be nothing, you know, for a while. So I was like, whatever. I said, I'm just going to turn this off. And, you know, I said, you know, I can't see you. And for a moment, I could have sworn that while I sat at my altar looking towards my bedroom in the doorway, I could have sworn he was standing there and he was like doing this. And he was like, why you got to be like that? Like, he was like, he says, pick yourself up. He was like, he says, you know how this goes. Like, you know, and it was just really brief, but it was like hey, like, what are you doing? You know, why are you crying? And I was like, I don't know. I was so upset yesterday. I couldn't figure out if that was my imagination, if that was actually him. You know, is that just my head? Is that just like what I want to see, you know? And so then I went to shut this off, and I was like, my finger was like getting ready. I was like, okay, I'm gonna shut this stupid thing off. I was like, anything else to say, you know, because I'm gonna go water my yard where I'm happy and I need to calm down. And before I could turn it off, the last word was love. And so I knew that he was sending his love. So anyway, I just felt like I had to put this video out there because, you know, sometimes we only see one side of people, you know, on YouTube, and a lot of people, you know, I think it's good to see how people deal with certain things. I'm trying to be more proactive because I can get into a place of really dark when I'm really sad. And so I, you know, went out for a walk this morning. I tried to just get in the sun, like connect with nature and just connect with the air in my lungs. And I'll probably, you know, go outside again later. And I'm just trying to keep myself busy, but I'm also trying to honor my feelings, and I'm trying to be, I'm trying. So I don't know if, you know, you guys have lost somebody. I mean, I'm hoping that, actually, I don't know what I'm hoping. I just felt like I had to make this video. I just really felt like I wanted to share, like, all the interesting synchronicities that happen, you know, that you know, your friends are never gone. That he was coming back to talk to me. I just didn't know he was gone yet. And I feel him around, but it's like this balance of like, am I actually feeling him, or, you know, not? So anyway, my eyes still hurt from yesterday, and while I woke up in the middle of the night last night, my eyes were still burning, and it doesn't help now. They're getting all red again. I'm like, oh, my eyes hurt. But anyway, I think I'll insert a clip here at the end of our coaches. This wasn't from the banquet this year, this was from last year, but the first person you see is Carter, and then you know, I went around the table and I was looking at all the coaches, but you can tell we're family, you know. We all have track backgrounds, we were all athletes once, you know, and we all have the same love, you know. We're here to help the kids and give them what we had, you know, when we were athletes. So, you know, all the good stuff, like how it made us feel, how it disciplined us, you know, all the awesomeness that we got out of our sport. And it's going to be a big loss to those kids. I'm really mostly upset that those kids don't have him anymore. But anyway, I am going to go because I need to go handle myself right now. So, I don't know. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Peace, love, and chicken grease. Peace out.
Huh? It's just video of everything. Oh, video?